Let's go. Oh my gosh. It's so fast. Wow. Wow. Gosh, you just want to keep doing that. That was a 2.3 seconds, 0 to 60. What? We just randomly just launched it. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You can't launch like that in the Z06. Z06, you know, it'll spin out those rear tires. This car, it launched so hard, and it nailed it. I can't believe the level of acceleration you got out of the front end, because when you're launching it, it shoots up. It's a different feeling. I think the suspension is definitely looser in this car than the Z06. It's definitely not as stiff because you don't have that lift with like the rebound and the compression going up. It's totally different with this. And it's because, you know, since you're spinning those front tires and wheels, it's going to be launching very hard up there and shifting the weight backwards. So I think all the lift that I feel up front, you will never get that out of a rear wheel drive car, because effectively the feeling is different because it's sinking backwards. This is like pull me forward kind of thing. It's crazy thinking about it. And then the e-all-wheel drive system, it feels tuned so seamlessly for the entire car that I can just over and over again just launch it pretty much anywhere. Like right now, first gear. Wow. Wow. I don't know how it can make that much of a difference, but it can. If this is gonna be what the Zora will be like in the future, or any of those other models having all the upgrades from the front axle to the rear end, then that would be simply insane, guys. The starting point of what they have here, you know, Chevrolet, they've always kind of worked their way up with each model. And I think this coming on after the Z06 was a great idea, because Z06 introduced the aggressive wide body stance and Corvette going further with carbon ceramic brakes and 600 plus horsepower. This shows that, we have the flat plane crank, race car derived motor, but we've got other tricks up our sleeve. And, you know, when I'm driving this right now, it's not always a 607 horsepower sports car driving it. It can calm down, it can relax, you can get good fuel economy. I would say around 20 mpg from at least my experience driving these cars in the past. For a 20 mpg vehicle that's got heated and cooled seats, memory lift, a great Bose sound system, safety systems galore, for the target audience of who this will appeal to, it's got it all. It's really got it all. And yes, it's sporty, it's fun. No, it's not as light as a Z06, but it's not meant to be like that. When you go to buy a Porsche Turbo S versus a Porsche GT3, they're totally different audience brackets. When you look at Turbo S, what is it also? All-wheel drive. What is a GT3? Rear-wheel drive. There's so many different elements, or just layers of the sundae you can make with one platform. And they've learned that, and I think they've mastered that with Corvette. Steering feel, though, it feels very precise. However, in the track mode, it's definitely stiffening up the steering rack. Transmission response with the dual clutch, it's just so fast. It's so fast. I don't know how accelerating with this power band feels so similar to me to the Z06. I'm not talking about the drivetrain. I'm simply talking about, is that another? That's a Corvette drive past me right now. The thrust is what feels like the Z06 to me. 100% the thrust, because even right now, right? It's barely any power, and you can feel the torque. So here's where this is gonna go. If they can use this electric motor with a turbo system, you're gonna have effectively no turbo lag. 100%, because you can tune these with different torque curves and more, so that wherever a feeling of turbo lag would exist or come up in a turbocharged car, it'll be dissipated because you have the electric system pulling it. That is why I think Chevrolet's onto something here. At 3,000 RPM, I have 100 extra horsepower everywhere. There is one detriment, I have to say, to having a front wheel powered Corvette, is that you do get the unfortunate, let's say, loss of steering feel and steering input because the front tires are having to do more at all times. When you drive a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive car, those front tires are not only being used for turning left and right, but they're also being used for putting down power. So the compression of the contact patch goes down, even accelerating, and it's not the same as a rear-wheel drive car that you get to trail brake into a corner and get on power. Yes, this is tuned to give you an oversteer, more of a rear bias. Of course, it only has 100 horsepower up front. It's not like it's a traditional all-wheel drive vehicle with an equally distributed amount of power, or maybe a little bit less up front versus the back. The back still has 500 horsepower. The front, it doesn't. It has significantly less. But it's just the right amount, though, to allow you to have fun. Welcome back to the studio. Now that we're back, I've had more time to think about my experience driving the Corvette E-Ray, and I'm honestly very impressed. No, it's not the same type of vehicle as the Z06. The Z06 is like an American Ferrari with the flat plane crank motor. It's totally different. It's got such drama. This car, again, reminds me of the experience that you get out of a Turbo S. That's why in the previous video, I wanted to ask that question to all of you guys. Is it a replacement, you could say, on a budget? Because, hey, it's a lot less money, and the attributes, when you look at the figures on a benchmark, right? On one end of the spectrum, that Turbo S is 600 plus horsepower, all-wheel drive 911, and now we have an all-wheel drive Corvette with 600 plus horsepower. It's similar with where it's placed, but the Turbo S is still a lot faster down the quarter mile. However, it's also a lot more money. I think this as a starting point for wherever the ZR1 takes us from here, alongside the E-Ray, when you combine those two cars, the platform with the technology is going to be even more mature. That's the best part about how these brands create their pinnacle models. It's all from a cycle of starting out with a standard model and then using all those years to maximize development time and learning experiences to create the best vehicle yet. I have one major concern, regardless of all the performance increases, and I'm pretty sure some of you may already know what I'm talking about. It's the weight. As long as Chevrolet can try to focus on minimizing weight increases, then the Zora can be incredible. If there is no other money or budget being spent towards creating a lighter vehicle, then there could be some problems with the Corvette Zora. I want to know, what do you think? Please let me know in the comments section down below. Hope you enjoyed this experience I had behind the wheel of the E-Ray. Let me know if you've driven one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please hit the like button. It really has helped me out. And subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. I'll see all of you in the next episode, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos coming out. Thanks again for watching.